Meurlot. I'm a elite men BMX racer, and my sponsors are 110% Nutrition, Carbone Cartel, Tangent Products, and now Profile as well. I'm currently 20 years old. I'll be 21 by the end of the year. And on the USA circuit, I compete in elite men, and then internationally, I'm in the U23 category. I'm from Florida. To narrow it down, I'm from New Smyrna Beach, so just outside of Daytona, in between Daytona and Orlando. Orlando is considered my home track. That's where I ride, typically about 3 days a week there.
Do you happen to have a nickname, and if you do, how did you get it?
I just kind of happened one day, just started calling me Big Westy. Ironic, because I was not big at the time. I'm not really big now, but at least I grew into it a little bit.
How did you get involved in BMX? How did it even come about into your world?
I actually did motocross when I was really young, like before I was 10. And my younger brother always liked riding around the yards. My dad said he'd take him to the track, which was actually Daytona BMX. And I followed along, and like a couple laps in, I was like, that was it. That was it for me. Hooked.
So how long has that been that you've been involved in BMX?
It's got to be just over 10 years now, because it was right before I turned 10. I'm about to turn 21, so it's been a little over 10 years.
What does BMX do for you? How does it make you feel?
Man, it gives me like a purpose. Like I wake up, I know what I'm going to do, going to the gym, I'm training, I want to be better than I was yesterday. It's just kind of my way of life as of the past 10 years, and as far as I can see in the future.
How does BMX impact the community?
I think it's a great sport, because anybody can do it at any proficiency and any age, really. I mean, there's little kids and the people that are like 80 years old doing it. So I think it's just great all around for the community. It's a good individual sport. You don't have to hang around a big group of team if you're not into that kind of stuff. It's good for anybody.
If you weren't a BMXer, what would you be doing?
Man, I don't know. I'm super. I like cars. I like all sports. I like basketball. I like football. I like MMA. I like, all the dude stuff to like. I'd be doing something. I'd be doing something else for sure. Athletic. There's no way I could be at home just hanging out.
What's your suggestion for someone that wants to get involved in BMX?
Just look it up on Google and find your closest track. And every track I've ever been to offers a great rental program for helmets and gear and bikes and everything you need to get started just to get hooked on it. So any track really will get you set up. It's pretty easy.
Any tips for a beginner BMXer? Just quick tips.
Just ride as much as you can. Don't worry about the competition as much. I mean, have fun with it for sure. If it's something you want to pursue, and then you can get serious with it. But just ride your bike on the track, off the track, anywhere.
And then any tips for a returning BMXer that's been gone for many years, like completely almost out of the loop? What would you suggest for one that's like, I'm going to come back?
Yeah, definitely just come into it with the open mindset that it's different. And it's not going to be as easy as I feel like you remember it being. And there's going to be that big learning curve, especially on some of these newer tracks, these supercross tracks, and all this. I mean, depending how long you're out, all this new equipment and stuff, it's going to be you're restarting basically. And but just to come into it with a fun mentality.
So what are your thoughts on clips versus flats?
When I started, clips were a thing, so it wasn't like a new thing out. It was just something that I wanted to get on as fast as I could, like every other kid. And I mean, I like them because that's what I grew up on. So, but I mean, I ride flats, throughout the year as well, just to keep the skill level going and to keep the fundamentals there. I think it's good for the younger kids to stay on flats as long as they can and learn. You should do everything on flats that you can do on clips. There shouldn't be a difference, I feel like.
Do you have any hobbies outside of BMX that you enjoy?
I'm super into cars, so I do a lot of car shows, trucks, do some truck shows. I like looking at stuff like that. Mainly just hanging out with my family, hanging out with my dad, mom, brother.
Here's a fun one. Your favorite song or band?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like genre right now. I got some country music, but I go through my rap. I don't think I have a favorite one. It's whatever the day is feeling, whatever that time of day. It'll change up.
Any advice for someone chasing a dream or pursuing their passion?
Don't get lost in looking at your destination. Get lost in the process. The process it's the most important part. It's the best part of the whole thing. I know standing on top of the podium or whatever your dream is amazing, but if you don't love the process, you're not going to love the result. I feel like if you can't get lost in the process and love the process, you're not going to get the result, honestly. That's the best way to go at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you'd like to add? Social media, tips, advice, anything? We're trying to wrap up. It's raining on us.
Yeah, I mean, like my social medias.
Yeah,
like mine's just my name, just Weston.Meurlot on Instagram and YouTube, and I think TikTok as well. Social media it's a big part if you're trying to network and you want to get these sponsors. You don't have to be the best out there to have the best sponsors. Being big on social media and having a good following, I think, is almost more important than getting results. If getting foundation sponsors is big for you, if that's a goal of yours.
What are your goals for your future?
I mean, obviously it's to win some titles. That's the biggest goal. I want to get on the World Cup scene more and try to pick up, a World Cup title or World Cup win. USA series, I want a USA title. I want all the titles, and I mean that's the end goal. So like I said, we're just gonna stick to the process and stick to it till we get there. Stay tilted, man.